All right, welcome back to hour 3 of our retention and duplication mentoring session. I hope you're getting value from this. This is going to give you a lot to think about. Those of you who have been involved in the profession for a while, you're going to have to really kind of absorb this. And for some of you, it's going to be a little bit overwhelming, like, you know, my gosh, what am I going to do with all this? But the name of the game is to create leverage, to create scalability, to create duplication, to create independence from activities that are not happening when you're not around. And this was a real challenge for me. Let me answer a couple of questions that I saw during the break. Amy said, I was always taught to lead with the business opportunity. You'll get product sales as a default. This strategy did help me get to VP level, but not to top level yet. Love to hear your thoughts on this philosophy. Do you think you should just do product sampling, equal amount, and trying to convert those into consultants and distributors? So Amy, what I will tell you is there's an equal amount. You're going to be inviting people to both. What you want to do is build your systems on a daily process of inviting here and inviting here. Now, if you're more business oriented, you can do this, but you still need to do this in order to create duplication in your team. But you might put more emphasis here. That's fine. But what I've learned in recent big data study is it doesn't really matter the entry point. So if a person enters as a customer, there's an equal amount of people who enter as a customer and become a business builder as enter as a business builder and stay as a customer. So entry point doesn't matter so long as you stay in relationship with them and you help move them over the line. Okay? So I would encourage a balance of both. I've always leaned towards this. I did this out of obligation. I did this out of my passion to build a huge business. Okay? Other people do this out of obligation and they do this out of the passion because they're more holistic in their product belief and approach. Okay? Either way is fine. Just to make sure you do both. You might be naturally inclined to one or the other. Make sure that you do both and you build a culture of both. John asks, how do I make someone become a super recruiter when they initially only wanted to be a customer? You don't make them do anything. You're going to get them involved. You're going to stay in relationship with them. And how can you help a customer move over the line to become a distributor? Build relationship with them, help them have a positive experience, stay in connection, start asking them, do you know anybody else who would get value from this product? You know, let them understand slowly what it is that you're involved with and help them engage in the step to taking a look at this. Just make an invitation for them to take a look. But the key is staying in proximity, staying in relationship with them. Baidun, you keep asking this question, I guess they said during the break. How can I test your system that you have? Test it based upon results. Is it working? What percentage of people are doing it? What results are they getting? And here's what I will tell you. The higher the intensity of the system that you have, the more leadership is required. So in other words, if I have a team of 10 people and I have a super high intense program, and those 10 people are in my house every day and I'm pounding on it, it's fine. But what happens when they involve somebody and they involve somebody and pretty soon it's 10 levels deep, 1,000 miles away? Are they going to engage in that same high intensity thing by being in the same room with me? The answer is no. So even though it's fine for you to do at a higher level, if you've got big goals or hitting a big rank or you've got a big campaign you're involved in, just don't expect that everybody's going to do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't go higher than this one a day process. If you can, that's fine. Just don't brag about it too much. You know, you want to build a culture where it's socially acceptable to do these 5 things every day. And so long as you engage in that, you're on the winning path. Build a team and a culture around that, and you're good. Okay? We're in a home party line, Sarah asks, so I'm having trouble coming up with a simple system and task for my team to do each day. I love the video idea, but not sure that works. Would love ideas on how they can invite somehow each day. If you're pure party plan, well then you can be sharing your products on a one-on-one basis every day. That's no problem. You can be inviting to a home party or teaching people how to invite to a home party every single day. You can have a process for doing that. Here's why you should come to the party. What is that system? It doesn't need to be technology. It might be a piece of paper. It might be a simple script. It might be a simple invitation. It might be a three-way phone call. It might be something. But what you need to have something that is a baseline, that everybody understands what it is in using, sharing, and sharing the opportunity. What you're doing is inviting to the products, inviting to the opportunity. Our goal is education and understanding. And our goal is to create a process that moves more people into activity than would have been in activity without the process. Okay? Some of you are feeling overwhelmed already, and you're already in network marketing. You've been in for a while. I'm just covering these 3 things. You're like, oh, my brain is fried. Think about what your new person is thinking about when you're giving them 80 different things to look at and 100 products and 15 different systems and 15 different processes. It's too much. John says, you have literally zero warm market. What would you do to start building step by step? I covered all of this in the last coaching session that we did a month ago. And it's also inside of the masterclass library. It's called Limitless. You have access to that inside of the masterclass library. It's a Limitless course on how you start building step by step, rebuilding your warm market, rebuilding so you never run out of people to talk to. Okay? So that's all available to you, John. All right, any other? Let me just take a look real quick. When pointing people to a video, do you think length matters? Where did that go? Ours is usually about 30 minutes. Again, you're going to test it. Are you losing their interest? Is it working? Is it not working? Be a student of what works. Another person says that my company is recommending that we do a particular thing. And it's complicated and boring. Companies tend to put stuff out that's complicated and boring. Sorry about that. They tend to do that. A lot of the best tools and systems are field generated and then company blessed. I would encourage you to figure out what works inside of your company, inside of your opportunity in order to be a student of results and a process that works here, and then get it blessed by the company. Okay? That's what I would recommend. There's no right length. If it's compelling and amazing, an hour long is fine. If it's boring and dull, 5 minutes is too long. Okay? So it really has to do with how entertaining, how captivating is it, how interesting is it. So think about it that way and be a student of results. And here's what I'm going to tell you before I give you 4 and 5. Don't be afraid to be messy. It's okay to be messy. Come up with something, whatever that thing is, inside of inviting to your products so they try it. Come up with something and try it and then work to improve it slowly over time. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's going to be clunky. It might be a little bit off. But in starting it, you'll start to be able to get some feedback, get some results, and you'll be able to improve it from there. Same thing here. Start with something. Even if it's the same boring 5-minute video that you're bored with, but the prospect wouldn't be bored with. Start there. Build a foundation on it, and then adapt and move forward as you go. But you can't be switching these systems around like every 2 weeks. The idea of the week program, you got to lock in on some stability, because again, our goal is to get everybody in your team to know exactly what is expected of them in a baseline activity. The goal is duplication. The goal is scalability. The goal is leverage. Create leverage by getting everyone engaged in this process, by getting everyone to invite people to check out the products in this process. We have everyone invite people to take a look at the opportunity through this process. And we do that every day. That's our baseline. Those who want to go faster, do it more. But everybody is doing it on this level. Okay? You could do this you could do all 3 of these in less than an hour a day. No problem. Less than an hour a day. You probably do it in a half an hour a day. These 3 things at a baseline level, half an hour a day. Every single day. Okay? All right, next. Do you offer some sort of individual training to help people decide which activities to prioritize? So much of this takes time. I need to know what's best to focus on. You need to focus on all 3 of these things. I do private coaching, but it's on a very limited basis for 6- and 7-figure distributors and company owners. It's very expensive. And in order to be able to do that. But if you really want to take your business to the next level, you want more kind of mentoring. One is GoPro Academy, what you're seeing a piece of today. You need to be accessing all of those courses and accessing this monthly coaching. Over the course of the next year, your life will change. You've already paid for this. Click on the upgrade button. Before you leave this page, click on the upgrade button and make sure that you're upgraded so you get access to all the courses. You get access to this monthly mentoring. That's one. Two is we have an event called Beyond Leadership. Beyond Leadership. It's for six-figure earners and above and people expecting to be six-figure earners and above in the near future. This is a 5-day deep dive immersion course. I don't know if we have the link. Is it Beyond or what is it? Oh, all right. They'll take care of it. Give you the link if you want. We're doing one of those in Australia in July and one in Las Vegas here in August. Okay, very exclusive 5-day deep dive on all of these things and more. So those are the two ways you can access. And the third way is it's for 7-figure earners and above and companies. But that's like 6 figures a year for personal, private, one-on-one access with me in order to be able to do that. I'd love to be able to do that with every single one of you. I just don't have the time to be able to do it. That's why we created this program. So you have access to being able to get kind of best practices from around the world. Okay, fair enough? All right. Use the product, share the opportunity. Personal development is number 4. Now, why personal development? So interesting, right? Why would this be part of your system? What I've learned through long experience, you want to create duplication, you want to move people over the line, help them develop themselves, help them develop their own skills, help them develop their mindset and emotions and all of the limiting beliefs that they're exploring. You need to encourage daily personal growth. Daily. Now, how do you do that? You need to encourage daily, whether it's reading, audio, video, courses, but at least 30 minutes a day. The organizations around the world that duplicate the most have built a culture of 30 minutes a day of personal growth. 30 minutes a day of unlocking your potential. 30 minutes a day of getting good ideas and thinking bigger. 30 minutes a day of eliminating your limiting beliefs. 30 minutes a day. When you get up in the morning, when you go to bed at night, whatever it happens to be. Not 300 minutes a day. Some of you get lost in it. But 30 minutes a day as a habit will help you fuel all this other stuff. 30 minutes a day. Now, how do you do that? Provide an assignment. Here's the book that we're all reading. GoPro can start you there. A lot of people use GoPro inside of network marketing to start a person. The personal development books. You might recommend inside of your team, here's a suggested reading list inside of your team. Make this non-negotiable. Make this sacred. Have this something that you talk about. This will fuel your duplication on a level higher than you could imagine. The personal growth that's involved keeps people in this game just as much as anything else does. The personal development, okay? Personal development. Now, any other questions on that? Is that for part-time and full-time? Yes, this is for part-time and full-time. All of this is for part-time. This is baseline. This is for everyone. 100% of people on your team. And the 5th pillar of a baseline system to create duplication, use the product, share the opportunity, personal development, and promote events. Now, events can be of all shapes and sizes. An event could be a lunch a lunch gathering that you're inviting somebody to. An event could be a home meeting. An event could be a local training. An event could be a Zoom call with some of the leadership inside of your team, or a Skype call or something, or a webinar. An event could be a company regional event. It could be a convention, an international convention. But what I teach people to do inside, and the fastest growing organizations in the world do this. This is a daily discipline of inviting people to whatever that next event is. A daily discipline of inviting people to that next event. Now you're going to be inviting, maybe you have a process with your upline that, let's say you're inviting to a local training. You're inviting people on your team to come to this training, because the more people attend this training, the better it's going to be. Well, you can come up with a system to do that, which means you get your team member on the phone and then you connect them with your upline in a three-way phone call in order to convince them to attend that local training event. Or maybe it's a process to invite a person to a home meeting. Maybe it's a process to invite every person on your team to attend your company convention. So what events do for your duplication is radical. The amount of belief built, the amount of consistency, the amount of decision that's made. Events are where leaders are born. So it supports all these other things so strongly that this became a daily for me. I started here, here, and here. These three: use, share, and share. That's where it started. Then personal development was added because it was so important for retention and duplication. And then promoting events became the fifth pillar of your daily discipline in order to create radical duplication within your organization. You want to create radical duplication? Create a process for this to happen every single day. And it starts with you. Guess where duplication starts? With you. You know, here's the thing. You use, share, grow, and promote. Daily. You want to know why you don't have duplication? Some of you aren't doing that yourselves. So you do have duplication. You're just duplicating yourselves and you just don't like the result. Make sure that what you're doing is what you want your team to be doing on a baseline. Are you doing this every day? Using, sharing, growing, and promoting. If you're not, it starts there. And then from that process, we've got your personally enrolled. What are you going to do with them? Tell, show, try, do. You're going to tell them, here's the 5 things that we're doing. You're going to show them through your example, here's how we're doing it. They're going to try it until they get it a second muscle for themselves, and then eventually they're going to be doing it with or without you. So, you do it, you teach it, and then you teach your people to teach it. What are you teaching them to do? Tell, show, try, do. And then if you find that your organization stops growing, troubleshooting. Your organization stops growing, what do? Let's say you got a team being built. Here's you. And you got a team over here and it's growing like crazy. Then you got a team over here that brings some people in. right? And it's not growing. Or it stops growing somewhere down here. Stops growing here. You go in, and whether or not that leader is doing it, you go in and you share the 5 concepts, you tell, show, try, do until they start moving. It's your job to diagnose and look into the organization. Did it stop? Did duplication stop? And if it did, don't delegate that. Dive in there and start it up again. That's what leaders do. They dig and they dig and they dig and they dig. They look to see where it stops. And if they have willing people, they go in there and fix it. And they get it duplicating again. And then they look and again. Oh, it stopped there. Get it duplicating again. Look and look and look. They're like a doctor diagnosing. Oh, I got a problem there. Go in, share the 5 things, tell, show, try, do. Teach those people to teach. Move it forward. Be a student of those results. Is it working? Is it duplicating? If it's not, go in and diagnose again. Okay? All right. Let's see if we got some questions before I continue. If I fried your brains. Janet, regarding the monthly coaching in the academy, do you have this same live coaching session each month? Every month we have a session like this. It's on different topics. Next month I think it's going to be on inviting. I'm pretty sure. We're doing a master class on inviting strategies in every possible direction, which will help your duplication. The month after that in May, we're doing one on social media. It's going to be incredible on social media and how to use social media. Every month it's just kind of best practices. We cover different things. So yeah, that's what you get access to, Janet. And in my opinion, you're crazy if you don't do it. North Carolina, would this include sharing Facebook trainings in your team page? Sometimes I feel like I overwhelm my people because I give them so much, because I personally feel like I need so much because I'm super analytical. The company does tons of training online. It's fine to have training, just so long as you come back to baseline. You got to come back. You can have all kinds of additional optional stuff. Here's what I do inside of GoPro Academy. I'm trying to cut through the clutter and give you what you really need to do. I mean, there's an ocean of content, an ocean of training. But what's the simple things that you can do this month in order to be able to create more growth and duplication in your team? Get this sacred. Get this sacred. Get this sacred. Get this sacred. Get that sacred. It might take you 5 months in order to get all 5 solid within your organization. If you have a small team, it's easier to do quickly. If you have a huge team, it takes a little bit longer. But I promise you, this is where scale comes from. This is where leverage comes from. This is where duplication comes from. And that's what turns this from a job into a business. Something that'll keep paying you over time. Sarah says, I wanted to give you an update. I was one of the lucky ones you called for a few minutes during your last monthly group coaching webinar. I was one who bought 10 tickets, Most Powerful Women, at the GoPro event in November. You helped me think of some ways to give away my last few tickets in a contest for my team last month. My goal is to get an additional 20 members on top of the 10 that I had tickets for. Well, we have 47 confirmed going from the team. Good for you. I'm so excited. I'm due with baby number 3, April 16th, so I won't be able to be there this time. But 47 of my 538 team members under me will be there. I know there'll be a radical explosion on the team. Thank you for providing this training. My goal is to train on stage with you one day. Can't wait. I can't wait for that too. Congratulations. Well done. See, all it was an assignment, and you went, oh, okay, I can do more than I thought. And promoting those events as part of your daily discipline became part of your culture. Your team is going to explode, for sure. Let me go back to live. I've been looking for this simple system for years. Yes, it's going to take work, but it's worth it. Sign up, it's awesome. Yeah, I mean, if you don't, I don't understand. If you don't upgrade what you've already done, you've already done the hard part. You paid the $297. Do the rest. You know, this is where leaders are born inside of this. Well, the live coaching on a fixed day of month, it's usually almost always, there's some international travel, but it's almost always the first Saturday of every month. Sometimes I know I'm in like Australia and Brazil a couple times during the year, but almost every month. I know May is the 12th, but April is whatever that first Saturday is, the 7th. It's April 7th and May 12th for the next 2, okay? But you get recordings of all this. So if you can't attend live, if you attend live, we get to interact, but if you can't attend live, it's great. My upline tends to push the opportunity to the extent that it puts many of my prospects off. I feel I know most of my prospects and want to have them come in and use the product. This is not acceptable to them. I am wrong by thinking on my own. Ideas I had in the past were discouraged, only have the company bring it out in similar programs later. Here's the thing, CMAC. Do this and be a student of results. It's your business. It's your team. It's your prospects. Now, you don't need to go reinvent the wheel in order to have your own independence. So long as you're doing these 5 things on a daily basis, and then you're doing other things on a higher level, whether it's the other fancier stuff on a higher level, that's fine. But I'm a student of results. Simple. If something's working better than something that I'm doing, I'm going to pay attention. And if it's not working better, I don't care what people say. If it's not working, I'm a student of results. I mean, it's just like, look, I'm not going to continue to pound my head against a wall because you said so, because this is not working. Now, it doesn't have to work the first time, but if I have enough of a sample size, we've talked to 50 prospects and people are feeling too pushed or something, then I'm going to come up with an approach because I want them to try my product so that eventually they can become a customer. I want them to know more about my opportunity. And if there's an approach that can help me do that better, then I'm going to use that approach. Okay? So you're your own boss. Okay? Be a student of what works. Tammy, do we know the next dates? Yeah, April 7th and May 12th. I upgraded, still don't have access to the Facebook group. Oh, you get access to the Facebook group, by the way. Well, we'll get you taken care of that right away. Hi from Alabama. Team, we got to make sure that Hi from Alabama is taken care of. System and process for the last pillar of inviting. There's a lot of different systems. It depends on what you're inviting for. Let's say it's your company convention. Here would be an idea on a system for a company convention. Or let's say you want to come to Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing, or you want to promote the GoPro event at the end of the year. The system that I would have would be number 1, and I'll write it down for you. I know my writing's not great, so apologies in advance. Take inventory. I'd call every single person on my team, and if I had a huge team, I would delegate until every single person on the team was contacted and talked to. And I would say, the company convention is on this date. It is the most important date of the company's history. We're all going. It's going to be spectacular. It's going to be amazing. I would give my commercial as to why this is so amazing. We're going to have fun. We're going to learn. We're going to get together. It's going to be an adventure. We're going to leave there on fire. You know, join me. Let's do this. Let's make it happen. You got a challenge. Let's help you get rid of the challenge so we can move forward. So I would take inventory. Here's the event. Here's when it is. Here's why. Are you in or you out? And I would really encourage. And if they're like, oh, I'm not sure, then I'd get somebody else to help me tip them over the edge. I'd call the upline. I'd call a crossline. I'd call a friend. I'd say, look, here's another reason why. Here's another reason why. Here's another reason why. So I would take inventory, in or out. And then I would continue through repetition to talk about this and talk about this and talk about this and talk about this and talk about this. Repetition over and over and over and over and over until they realize I was serious. I would be incredibly repetitive in this process. I would 3-way call either those people with my upline, crossline, or even with the company until they got registered. I would push for hotel, airfare, etc., all those details to be done. I would build a community. I would provide contests, recognition. I would recognize those people who got registered. I'd have little incentives and contests in order to be able to make it fun. I mean, I would just pound on this, and I would teach everybody else to do the same thing. We need to, if we care about the people on the team, we need to take inventory on every single person on the team. Are you going? That would be my process. Now, if there was a video that I could get everybody to watch, I would use the video. If there was a website that needed everybody to see, then I would use the website. If there was a sizzle call I needed to create in order for me to be able to transfer the belief to those people, then I would create that sizzle call. But I would create a process every day to take inventory and also to tell every single new person that joins the team that this is important, that this is sacred, that this is non-negotiable, this is an assignment, we're all going. And if you build an organization where it's kind of the expectation that this is what we do, we're all going, versus this is an exception, this is only for exceptional people, this is only for leaders, this is only for high-level commitment. Don't build a culture like that. Build a culture where this is standard. We're going. We don't know how. We don't know how we're going to afford it. We're going to figure it out. That's what I would do. Lawrence, do you have words that a new distributor can say to let people know I'll be coming with them to the meeting or on the phone call? It's intimidating for most people in my experience. In this three-way call, as far as the tell, show, try, do process, all you're going to be doing, I struggled with the duplication process in getting people to give me access to have conversations with people on their team, even with them, until I slowed down for a second and I explained to them why. Say, listen, your friends are going to listen to me more than they're going to listen to you. We're not going to push them to do anything that's uncomfortable for them or it's uncomfortable for you. I'm here to support you and I'm here to help. But if you put them on the phone with me, here's how the process is going to go. And let's try one to be able to, so you can feel what it feels like. And I think you're going to enjoy it. Let's just try one. And the same kind of thing when it came to sitting down having lunch with them. So long as they explain, they understand why it is you're doing what you're doing and why you're helping, versus this push, hardcore assignment, make them uncomfortable type of thing, you'll do better. System for process for promoting events, we talked about that. How do you deal with negative people on the team that are super plugged in, very close with a lot of your team, but bring negativity? I brought it up this before and told her to keep it out of the chats, but just complains about things all the time and doesn't enroll a lot. This does actually apply to duplication, because a negative person can impact the belief inside of your team and it can impact duplication. So if you want to have more duplication, sometimes you need to do a little surgery. And here's the key to duplication, and the top leaders inside of network marketing understand this, is the best defense is a fast offense. If somebody is cancer within the organization, the first moment you need to deal with it is the first moment it shows itself out. The first complaint, you need to pull them aside and say, listen, I understand you want to be heard, and I understand sometimes negative travels a little farther than positive. But part of what we do, Mr. or Mrs. Complainer, is we create an environment that builds belief in our new people and in our existing teams. And if their belief is built, they'll take more action. And if they take more action, they're going to get more results. Okay? If their belief is shaken, then they take less action. They stay around less when it comes to time. And our job is to keep them involved for another 90 days and another 90 days and another 90 days. So just one complaint in a public forum, it's like dropping oil into the water supply in the local community. You might have felt justified with it, but the impact on the belief and the retention and the duplication on the team cannot be allowed. I have too much of a responsibility for this team to allow it. So I love you, you're very plugged in, I get it. But the complaint, that impact on other people's belief is too negative for me to allow. So if you have a complaint, there's other forums for that. And let me work with you on that. I'm not saying to shut up if there's something that's a challenge. I'm saying shut up in the community, because we have a responsibility, you and me, to build and sustain this incubator that gives these little new future network marketing professionals an opportunity to grow. And just because it feels better for us to be able to say it, we don't have the right to unplug that incubator and to kill that little being before it has a chance to grow. So we got to work on this together. And if I do something like that, that impacts belief, then you tell me. And if you do it from now forward, I'm going to tell you. Because we just can't do it. It's too mean to the average person. Okay? That's what I would do. That's what I would do. Because not doing that will affect your duplication, no question. How much time does this take a day? Because I just have to enter follow-up and other tasks. When people give you the time they have to invest a day or a week, do you adjust accordingly? Which five of these five baselines do you suggest that they do? They don't need to promote events if they don't have anybody on their team. Okay? If they have anybody on their team, so you can pull that off if they don't have anybody on their team. Using the products takes no time. Sharing the product, sharing the opportunity, that's less than an hour a day. Far less than an hour a day if you did that once. This is a half an hour. You should be able to do these 4 as a baseline in an hour a day. These 4 in a baseline, 1 hour a day. You want to accelerate a little bit, maybe 2 hours a day. Okay, max. The last pillar seems not duplicatable at a base level. Would you elaborate a bit on a daily assignment you give to every team member? Every day you need to be promoting some event for your team. And for your prospects personally, for the team and their prospects. So I used the big event as an example, but you need to be promoting the next home meeting, the next local training, the next product information training that's happening, the next Zoom call, the next company conference call, the next informational webinar. Whatever the next thing is, with your prospects and with your team. Every day promoting the next one, the next one, the next one. Does that make sense, Janet? Whatever the next one is, that's what you need to be promoting. Okay? All right, cool. Don't be selfish and air your dirty laundry. Exactly. Automated text systems where it texts a keyword to you and you get an automated reply with details. Yeah, those are, test all of those. These concepts are going to remain the same. The technology around these concepts are going to change over time. I started with video cassette technology. I moved to audio cassette technology. Okay? And I moved to recorded message technology. Now you've got webinars and you've got videos and you've got online stuff and you can click a link, you can text stuff, you can get an automated bot response, you can do all kinds of stuff, but be a student. Write this down in your notes, please. Be a student of what works. And put what works into your system, your fundamental system, your sacred system, your baseline, your core. Now, you might want to just do 2 of these or 3 of these or 4 of these instead of all 5. I think this is doable. That if you engage people in personal development, they're always inviting to the next event, whether it's their prospects or their team. They're sharing daily, they're sharing the products daily, they're using the products daily, and that's non-negotiable, then you can build on that. Then you can decide on a higher level, if you're full-time, you're doing this more, plus you're doing other things. You're supporting your team, you're traveling, and you're doing your conference calls, and you're doing your Zoom meetings, and you know what I mean? You're doing things on a higher level. Not everybody's going to do those higher level things. All right, let me see if I got a few more. All right, let's do this. We got... I'm just going to answer some questions, so we'll rapid fire. If you've got questions, I'm going to answer for about the last 10 minutes, and then we'll recap. How do you share your products if your company does not provide samples? You can share it. How do you do it now? What's the way that what's the way that you share your products right now in order for people to understand the benefits of being a customer? What do you do? Okay, go back to the... Be a student of what works. Do you ever have people who say they're doing all these things but not having results? Not really. Not really. And if they do, then we got to come back and evaluate what's working. Because some of it might be them, some of it might be their own personal growth. But if they engage in these things, they're going to get some success. I'm not plugged into a company yet. Is it worth my time to consider one that has been around a while? Yeah, I probably can't really comment on that. I mean, every different company has different benefits. Find a company where you believe in the ownership, you believe in the product, that you feel like you can build long term. Some of those are earlier stage companies, some of those are longer stage companies. I can make a case for every side. So find something that resonates with you. My organization stopped duplicating, but my downline does not like me contacting their people. You got to work to get your downline over the line. Once you get them over the line, you need to work on processes that will get them results. You need to sell that to them. And if they're not willing to do that, you need to build a new team of people that will duplicate. A lot of I will tell you, once, this will sound funny, once I cracked the code on duplication, it took over 3 years to crack the code. What I wanted so bad was to go back to my existing team and to get them all duplicating now. And you know what happened? They didn't. They didn't. They didn't duplicate. They just laid there. They had too much psychic damage from other stuff. So in order for me to go to the next level, I needed to start a new team. And it was hard. It was hard to want so much for that existing team and they didn't want as much for themselves, or they were bound up on systems that weren't working or whatever. So I needed to just have some freshness, and I went and recruited again, and I started a new team, and I focused on these things, and I went from my little team of 30 that would never really grow as builders to 5, 25, 125, and pretty soon I had thousands. Then I had tens of thousands. Then I had hundreds of thousands on the team, people working with or without me, people that I'd never met that went through the high levels in the company. But sometimes you gotta let go and not base all of your success on the percentage of your existing team that's gonna engage. Maybe they won't. I needed to recruit a new team in order to be able to do that. So, let's go back here. Covered a lot in 3 hours, right? We start this process with retention. 90 more days is the key. 90 more days. We build belief in the product, company, network marketing, the team, and yourself. We have a culture of doing that. We do that by helping people to get over the line and stay over the line. Okay? That's the foundation of what it is that we do. Product belief through these methods, company belief, brag about that and build a culture of people doing the same thing. Network marketing belief, we have a better way. The team, what are your brag points of the team? You, your mindset, your skills, and your strategy. Doing that here. Duplication is tell, show, try, do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Our goal is to create independence. That's our ultimate goal, is to create independence. There's different levels of duplication. We talk about this base level a lot because that's where duplication lives. But there's higher levels of duplication. You can still promote people hosting or attending a home party once a week if that's part of your culture. You can still promote hosting a luncheon. You can still promote attending a company convention. Not everybody's going to do it. It's a higher level of duplication. You can still travel to support your team even though everybody's not going to do it. You can still learn to be a trainer or a presenter. Not everybody's going to do it. You still should do it as a leader. You're going to duplicate. The more presenters you have on your team, the more duplication you're going to create. The more events you have on your team, the more duplication you're going to create. Okay? So that continues to go higher and higher and higher. The 5 elements of duplication are using the product, sharing the opportunity, personal development, and promoting events. That's what it is that we do. those 5 things. And then we talked about starts with you. Every single one of you watching this starts with you. Are you holding those 5 things sacred, yes or no? Is that a habit, yes or no? Is it an extraordinary day, or is it just an average day if you do those 5 things? If it's an extraordinary day, you're not going to have duplication. It's got to become an average day for you. Has to, for this to be sacred. This is daily. Then you're personally enrolled, tell, show, try, do, and then teach people to teach, and then troubleshoot within your organization to make sure that it's happening. All right. Last thing I will tell you, those who are not part of GoPro Academy, the reason why I do what I do, the reason why I share this, the reason why I invest the time is I want you to have a breakthrough. I want you to experience something in order to be able to enjoy the freedoms of network marketing. That comes from coaching, that comes from training, that comes from mentorship, that comes from helping me to, this was heavy this month. It's a lot of stuff. But once a month, let me connect with you and let me help you cut through the clutter and give you some assignments in order to be able to do this, okay? If you haven't upgraded, you should just click on the button. It costs you no money today. Click on the button, get access to the courses, and then a month from now, we'll get connected again, and we'll go, and we'll go, and we'll go. All right? So do that. Let me give you a couple more questions, and we'll close it up. Janet, you've been telling us what we should do daily, but I suppose to have system process for my active team to promote event. I don't understand. Did you paraphrase that? Okay. Do you have a daily system for your active team people to do daily to promote the events? You're not a pain, Janet. That's what we're here to do, sister. Here's what I will tell you. Same thing that I said before. Whatever the next event is, have a system for that. So for example, if you're inviting somebody to a home meeting, do you have a system for inviting people to a home meeting? Tell them exactly how to do the invitation for a home meeting and make sure everybody in your team is doing the same thing. If you have a local training, have a little system and a script to be able to invite people to that local training and have every single person on your team do the same thing. It might be a process of take inventory, invite, what are you telling people about this, why should they attend, and then follow up and be repetitive with it. That's what I do inside of that process, okay? This is whatever the next event is, make sure that you're promoting it, okay? Sarah says, I totally believe in in-person trainings. Could you tell us a little bit more about Beyond Leadership? It's a healthy investment, it's true. So I'd love to hear what kind of results you can expect after going. This is high level stuff. It's like what we do here for 3 hours. We do that 12 hours a day for 5 days. The average person in the room is making $300,000 or $400,000 a year. This is high level leadership, high level duplication, high level team building. It's an intense deep dive experience. Instead of taking a year to be able to get kind of solid what you need to understand in order to be able to take it to the next level of influence in network marketing, we do it in 5 days. So that's the short kind of version of it. But I cover everything you can imagine leadership based in those 5 days. Okay? Anything else? Next. Okay, see if there's any others. Can you scroll down? Is that it? All right, look. Those of you here, tell me how many pages of notes you have. Take a real quick count. How many pages of notes do you have? And write the number into the comments. How many? I know it's 30 seconds, so we'll get it here in a second. And then I'm going to give you your assignment as we close this up. Should be coming any second. Any second? All right, here we go. 4, 12, 5, 7, 5, 6, 6, 7, 13, 6, 5, 4, 7, 5, 8, 5, good. 4, 7, 4 with a broken thumb. Awesome, Bonnie Joe. You're late. Can you watch this again? Of course. Yeah, we'll get the replay up to you quickly. 19, Margie. I want to see yours. That sounds awesome. 4 single space typed. Good. I didn't sign up to a monthly. How do I do it? It should be on the page, and then you get this automatic. Click on the link. They'll take care of you. 12, 20, 20. 2 front and back, but you're an outliner. All right. Cool. 7, 4, 6. All right, fabulous. Listen, here's your assignment. Your assignment is, number 1, if you're not part of GoPro Academy, make that step and become part of GoPro Academy. Get that monthly mentoring. That's your first assignment. Second assignment. Pick one of these things, one of these 5, and put that into operation as quickly as possible until it's deep into your team. And then pick the second one and push that deep into your team. Then the third, deep into the team. Then the fourth, deep into the team. Then the fifth, deep into the team. Okay? That's your assignment. Is one at a time. Take as long as you want until it's sacred and known and duplicating and everybody. It's just part of the way of living. Pick one, bake it into the team. Then pick the second, bake that into the team. Then pick the third, bake that into the team. Okay? That's your assignment, to be able to do that. You go back and watch this if you need to. Go back into radical duplication, which is part of what you got for being a part of today. And listen, I want you to experience more than just a job inside of network marketing. I want you to experience the juice of what makes this work. I know it's a little confusing because you were never taught leverage. You were never taught scalability. You were never taught duplication in a traditional job. You've just been doing the job piece of network marketing, which is just work. If you're going to do it, there's other work that's a little bit more fun. This is fun when you create the replication. Janice says, what's the assignment? The assignment is this. If you're not part of GoPro Academy, do that. But pick one of these 5 core baseline things and bake that into your team until it's second nature for everybody. It's known, it's working, it's duplicating, it's happening. And then take the second, then the third, then the fourth, then the fifth. Pick which order you want to do it in. Totally up to you. Okay? No matter what you do, I would make sure you at least do this first. And then pick whatever order you want to do the rest. Okay? Make sense? You got it, Janet? Cool. All right. That's it. You should have everything. Should have the link. The link is below. Hope you got value from this. 3 hours. Hope you make March amazing. I'm planning on making it amazing. I'm going to get back to working. I'm going to get back to doing what I need to do. Love you all very much. I'm proud of you all very much. Together, we're making a difference in the world. I want all of you to be able to enjoy every dream that you've ever had in your life. This profession can help you make them all a reality. All right? Have a great day. Share this with everybody that you know, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.